Welcome to the Jedi Ranger. I'm JohnBerry555, and I'm continuing my series of Master Rush reviews with Season 3, Episode 13, Dogs and Servicemen. So there's two main plots going on in this episode. First, this is actually the first episode where we're introduced to Rada's collection of animals he's now keeping as pets, one of them being a stray dog that bit him, and Henry thinks that Rada might have rabies. So they need to find the dog and check it. They have no luck finding the dog, so they end up having to give Rada rabies shots, which back when the episode was set, from what I understand, were pretty intensive and not a pleasant experience. As I understand, even today they're not great, but they're way better than they used to be. And they do eventually find the dog, and the dog doesn't have rabies. Unfortunately, Rada won't have his dog anymore. They kind of ignore the fact that they can't do a blood test like they claimed in the episode to check a dog for rabies. They have to actually dissect the brain. I can understand why they decided not to do that, but technically that's what should have been done, because that's what was done, and the only way to check for rabies because it's in the nerves and not in the blood. So that's that plot line. And then there's another plot line. Wounded come in, and this includes one soldier who's paralyzed. He can't move, but he has no apparent injury. While they didn't state it outright, I'm pretty sure they did do x-rays to make sure there wasn't anything under the skin. So Hawkeye calls Sydney, and basically on Sydney's instructions is going to do one of Sydney's treatments, a treatment to deal with what we would probably now call PTSD. Back then, it was being called combat fatigue, and Frank was still calling it shell shock. But essentially, the idea is that they express is that via the Hawkeye, expressing Sydney's idea, and which I think might actually be somewhat sound, is that basically some of this stuff may be arrived out of basically guilt of leaving comrades behind, that sort of things. So the further you take away from the front, the more likely that guilt is going to grow and become unmanageable, truly developing into PTSD. Even though that term hadn't been coined yet back then. But it does kind of make sense. If the trauma stems not from the injuries or anything like that, but maybe from something more like survivor's guilt or leaving comrades behind, I do think there could be something sound in that form of treatment. But essentially, it does work out in the episode. The soldier, by the end of the episode, he's up and walking, because he physically could walk. It was just in his head. Now, Hawkeye does have to do probably some tough love treatment, which he normally does not like doing, but it does provide a different contrast to a Hawkeye that we don't normally see. So it gives us a different insight into his character. Basically, we normally see the kind, gentle Hawkeye helping patients, but sometimes, a tougher love type treatment might be needed, and this shows that Hawkeye can do it if it is so called for. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about this episode. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Overall, I did enjoy it, but I do think I liked last week's episode a little bit more. But I hope to see you in the very next video. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always.